just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Pack Her Up, boys. Proudly brought to you by Lontel. As usual, guys, you know the drill. It's a gaming weekend in the off-season without much footy. It is a gaming weekend. Now, I will say I may be doing a little bit of a watch-along for the Pack Champs game. I'm just trying to find the freaking green screen at my home. I don't know where it is. So if I can find it, and I could be... Look, the thing about this time of year for us is like, obviously we're still working, but it's like essentially the break for us. Now we'll get probably 2 weeks. Well, there's never a week we're not going to do nothing. Matty will probably have a week or two where there'll be nothing.
Yeah.
But like then I take over and fully, like, instead of kind of doing some posts, I'll do all of the posts. And Matty does some of the posts when he's here, but then when he's away, he won't do any. So yeah, you never get like you never get any time off per se. But like posting shit on the like Instagram and that, like I get it. It's an extra little like nugget in your head you got to think about, but it's not like, that's not work.
It doesn't take very long.
It doesn't take, you got Canva, bang, 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 you bang her up, you put her up. The thing that is the hardest when you're supposed to be like not working is you have to stay engaged with the news all the time.
Yeah.
So you've got to be, because like if the news drops and you're like a day late, it's just like,
well, there's no point.
Don't even post it.
Yeah.
But it's like, as I said, like, it's not really work. Like work is digging ditches. Work is sitting behind a computer all day. So anyway, in the off season, we got time to play video games and Lontel. Oh, actually, I have just added Lontel sent me an adapter, not an adapter, sorry, a extender. Not because my house is big, because like my internet thing is it's in a cupboard.
Yeah.
And my bedroom is probably like maybe 8 meters from it. So when it's in a cupboard and that block, the line of sight is blocked quite a lot. So I got an extender. So now in my room, my internet is just flying. Whereas before, it's in the second bedroom where my computer is, where, my internet's wired, plugged in. Plus also, even if it wasn't wired, it would go because it's right next to the router. But anyway, that's absolutely flying. You guys, you know the drill. Go to lontel.net.au/bloke. You pay as you go. You pay for the speed you use. There's none of this like, at 6 o'clock, it starts slowing down because there's too many people on the internet. This is premium internet. This is internet for people of the future. You only pay for what you use, and also you get crazy speeds. On top of all that, you may be eligible to get your internet upgraded to fiber under your house. Go to the link in the show notes. I think it's 150,000 residents that have it available to them. Used to cost $30,000 to get this done. It is now free. And it's not the old NBN. I promise you that so much. You check my Instagram. You see all the fast speeds. That's the NBN today. It is crazy fast, like insane fast. So massive thank you to Lontel. Support people that support us, guys. Everyone's got internet. Everyone has internet at home. So if you love the podcast, by going to a better provider, that I can promise you. I mean, in my opinion anyway. I've had plenty of internets. I've never had something like this before. It supports the platform. It really does. So make sure to use the code BLOKE so they know that you're from the Bloke community. And also people that have signed up but haven't gone further to use their 7-day free trial or $25 credit, make sure to link it all up. If you're having trouble navigating things, give customer service a call. They've won customer service of the year 5 years running. So much so that other companies are like desperate to get what they have in regards to customer service. But Matty, how you going, bro?
I'm good. I tell you what shook me, I think it was yesterday. Obviously, this is the last week of footy for the year. It's obviously such a long year. It starts in February. There's only like 2.5 months.
Bro, pre-seasons have started, bro.
That's what I'm about to say.
Oh, really? Fuck, sorry.
Like, no, all good. Justin Holbrook saying that the young guys have impressed him. I'm like, you're back at pre-season?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And like, I hate to be a negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer, but it just shows you the season's too long, bro.
Oh, come on.
That these boys are already back at preseason this week for next year. It's crazy. Listen, I'd get it if it was I'd get it if it was a softer sport. Soft is the wrong word, but you know what I'm saying? Less contact.
Less contact, yeah.
Mate, it's just like the things these boys, like, no wonder we're having crazy injuries all the time. Like, no wonder. And look, I know, like, you could probably look at the numbers and you'd say, oh, numbers are kind of the same, but I don't know. The eye test suggests to me that maybe more of our stars are getting injured. It just feels like, it really does feel like that the last 2 or 3 years, injuries have increased to star players. It feels like it.
Well, as a Rabbitohs fan, I'm feeling that hard. But no, seriously, like across the board, it does seem like it's definitely ramped up.
And look, I understand the NRL in a rock and a hard place, because I think right now the NRL guy probably sitting there going, guys, just bear with us until the next TV rights deal so that we can get these extra teams in, reduce the rounds, but have more to sell to the build the international game up. But really, the perfect scenario would be 20 games a season. Every game essentially matters.
Yep.
And then the focus is on the international game. That's what I think. I think that'd be the perfect. If we can build the international game up enough where it's maybe not on par. Well, I mean, it'd be great to be on par with the NRL, but like close-ish to it. Then that's what they could sell to the. I think at the moment the tough from a business perspective is like, well, we can have that. At the moment, we get 27 rounds to sell, and we have the international game, which is, I get that. But my argument against that would be, yes, in the short term, maybe it's less to sell the 20 games. However, the product, like imagine how hectic a season would be if it cut off at the 20 round mark.
Well, but if you do the maths, it's still the same amount of games because there's more games squished into the 20. I think it's like within 10 or 20 games. So it's actually not that different, but it's all high quality.
Yeah.
So it's far
and
better.
like everything matters really. Like, and also like, because like the thing that sucks, I think, about the current thing is obviously the players and everything like that. That's the number one priority. But two, like you can't deny me, even the most, the diehard fan gets to round 20 or so and goes, gee, some of these games are like the pits. And so I just wish that I want a season where until I get to like the last 2 or 3 rounds, I'm going, anyone can make the 8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like right now, we get to probably round 18, you reckon?
Yeah, around when Origin ends around. So around 18, 19.
18, 19, and you're like, okay, 4 teams can't make the 8. They're done.
And like, you really got to think about how far away round 18 is to round 27. That's like almost 3 months.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and then finals footy starts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, I understand like from a business perspective, like I get it. I really do. But geez, like I'd seen the boys go back. I just think far out, man. Like, and I understand there's probably going to be a comment, I get it. Oh, mate, I'm digging ditches every single week. I get it. There are hard jobs out there that suck. Doesn't mean that everyone else's job has to suck too. It's so physical on the bodies, rugby league. And I understand it's a privilege to play it. I get all that. Doesn't mean we can't make it a better version of itself.
Agreed.
So eventually I hope they do. I think 20 rounds is perfect. I think that keeps you essentially engaged most of the year. And like I understand that some people might say, oh, well, what about the teams that lose their first 10 games? They're definitely out then or something like that. But like I think most seasons you'd find that it would be pretty edge of seat until around round 17, 18.
If you lose the first 10 games, and that's a you problem.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to cover for every scenario that comes up. Because people, like, put it this way, what I'm trying to say is this, is I know that we could sit here and punch holes through it. I haven't sat down and friggin' worked with a board of people to get the right layout. I just get the feel from having watched, like I watched footy, obviously I played it, watched it pretty, a couple of years I didn't watch it. Like I watched it vaguely when I retired. But like seriously, like essentially every game, it's probably been about 6 years now. Probably about 6 years now, 5-6 years. And I just feel like when I get to about round 20, I'm starting to go, okay, let's wrap it up here. Let's wrap it up. Now, granted, I know that people go, oh, the Broncos wouldn't have gone on their run. Well, fuck, fair enough then,
Yeah, like that's just what
that's it. They wouldn't have gone around, okay. So, yeah, seeing the boys come back to preseason, jeez, man.
I just wanted to have a look. I don't know if this is like, this perfectly works out, but I just looked at the ladder for round 20, which is 7 rounds before it ends. It's the exact same top 8 except for one team. So basically 7 of the 8 teams are in it. Then I went back 7 more rounds and like the Cowboys are in the 8, Manly are in the 8, the Dragons are in the 8. Like if you condense the season.
So you get this crazy fire into the end of the last few games.
Yeah. And it wouldn't just teeter out like it kind of did.
That's such a good point because essentially nothing changed in the last 7 rounds except for one team.
Yeah.
Whereas in the last 7 rounds before the end of round 20, was it 3 teams dropped out?
Yeah. Manly, who to be fair was still there around 20. Cowboys, they ended up freaking almost bottom 4. Dragons, they didn't get close. They were even lower down. Let's have a look. Broncos were 11th.
Crazy.
Roosters were 12th. Penrith were 14th. So like,
imagine that ride into the finals for Penrith fans.
Exactly right.
Because like what happened is that they started playing well, and we got to a point where like, oh, it's not will they make the 8? It's like will they make top 4? And then they were like, yeah, we won't bother doing that because we want to rest our boys. So you see what I mean? Like all the hype happens around round 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yep. So that's a great insight there, Matty. Great insight. That's why you're there. That's why you're the best in the business, mate. I was thinking the other day how much I don't appreciate how good you've gotten at switching to people as they talk?
What do you mean?
Or like
doing this?
switching to people as they talk. Do you remember when you first come? You would have been like stressed out as fuck.
I tell you what I liken it to. You know when you're like, you know this better than anyone. You know how you're playing a PlayStation game and you don't even think about what you're pressing?
Yeah.
That's it for me now.
Really?
I reckon it hasn't crossed my mind what button I'm pressing for like 3 years.
Wow.
It's just become like a motor skill.
Whereas when you first got the machine to do it.
I was...
Going to the wrong people and shit.
I remember I wigged out once. We had a Wendell Sailor in really, really early, and like I wanted to get it so perfect. And I switched when he was talking. I was on you for like it would have been like 10 seconds, and I wigged out so much
because you were like locked into the conversation.
Yeah. but I wigged out so much in the edit that I like got it off the camera and edited it. But like now, if it's on you for 10 seconds, gives a shit.
Wow, that's funny. Because back in the day, we would get the cards and then edit it, wouldn't we? Rather than on the fly?
Oh, well, you used to. I just did that as a backup just in case something...
So you never did that?
Nah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I used to do that for years, man. Years. Man, I'll never forget, like... I don't know where I got the motivation from.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I know where I got it from. I was desperate. I'd fucking, like, life or death desperate. I was like, I'm going to do anything possible to make this work. Packing up, working all week, covered in coal, so dirty, bro. Packing up, driving all the way from Wollongong to Sydney, doing the interview, packing it all down, coming down. And then on the weekend, just fucking edit the whole time.
So literally no extra time, basically.
Like, what's weird is looking back on it now, because when I commit to something, it's like the way I struggle to commit to things because when I do, I almost say there's no way out of this now. Like you can't go halfway and then just go, all right, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah.
So like, for example, when I started everything 10 years ago now, far out, I actually procrastinated for 6 months because I was like, oh, fuck, once I get into this, like, there's no turning around. Like my life changes forever. I'm not stopping until it sorts itself out, essentially.
It's funny that because like I get that mindset, but like you've already spent 10 grand.
I know. So, that's what's crazy. So I'd already spent all the money, couldn't afford it. It was on a credit card.
Putting 10 grand on a credit card is crazy.
Crazy stuff for something that I don't even really know. Because like the thing, and I don't want to sound like a fuckwit talking about like all this good, but like what people don't realize with at least my journey in Australia, I'm navigating blind at the start. I don't have anyone like, yes, there is over Joe Rogan, there's like a podcast, but at that stage, I don't know if they might have had like one sponsor or something, maybe, I don't know. Whereas like in Australia, like when I started the podcast, like I didn't know whether it'd get off the ground. I didn't know whether, businesses would be interested to sponsor it. Like none of that. I didn't know whether it would work. Now, when you start a podcast, there's a very clear vision for what you do to do, go out, you get your sponsors. And granted, like even right now, getting sponsors for a podcast, there is still a reluctance of like, oh, no, we'll go with the Trident, TV and radio, which is insane to me. And that's 10 years later. Imagine how reluctant people would have been when I'm trying to convince them 10 years ago to sponsor the podcast. Craziness, absolute craziness. And so, I'm traveling blind at the time. So like I had to, like there's a lot of stuff. If I had to go again, fuck. Oh man, I would save so much money. Like, oh my God. And
it's funny because like if you had to go again, like obviously you could say if I dropped myself at the same time period, but if you had to go again now, it's a totally different world.
It is. And also like, if let's say this all stopped and I started another podcast, not every listener, but I think most listeners would go, all right, well, I'll just go fucking listen.
Yeah.
Like it's not any difference for them. They're just like, I get the same thing. So it is, you're right. It's a different world. But back then, like, you just had to, okay, I've got to start a product to be able to fund this. And then I pour all this money in the product and then, like there's so many things you could do differently. Whereas like if you started a podcast after that point, there was a much easier to look across, there's that podcast in Australia that's doing that. Well, I can do that. I can do that. Anyway, just crazy times. Not trying to big note or anything like that, but it's just, so when you say, you had no time, I didn't think of it like that. I didn't, because in my head it was like, no, this is my life now and I'm not stopping until it's sorted. It still works. Until I get some kind of like, my aim was 2 years, I'm going to do this hard for 2 years. And at the very worst, I can advertise my electrical company on it. Because the way I saw it was like, okay, let's say 1,000 people a week listen to the podcast, which back then, not even 1,000 people listen to it. Like the downloads at the start are like fucking 150, 50.
Yeah.
You know, go back and look at some of those early ones. You can still kind of see some of them, I think.
Yeah, I remember when we had our old platform, I had a look. And
Libsyn.
Libsyn. I was like, wow, these numbers are small.
They're terrible. No, they're not terrible. Like, so I don't want anyone to be discouraged that are starting a podcast now. But like, if you think, because I think there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, Denon was an NRL player, so he already had like an audience that would listen to him. No, that's not what the history was. I had played 40 games of NRL, bro, and I'd been retired for, let's just say, 3 or 4 years. And I hadn't played first grade for 2010 was the last time I'd played first grade. I started this in 2015. So imagine a 40-game first grader right now, and I know it's a different world, podcasts exist, so it'd get a bit of traction. But like trying to start something in the media, doesn't have social, because I didn't have social media. Like I had maybe Facebook or whatever, had no Instagram, none of that. Like it wasn't a case of like, oh, he already had a built-in audience. Like it was truly, who's this random Denon Kemp guy that played 40 games, you know, all those years ago, really in 2008 when people remember. So it's 2008 really that like people remember.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't a case of like, the only thing the NRL thing helped me with was there was a stamp of approval of like when he talked about rugby league, at least he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
To a degree. Now, I'm not necessarily in the camp of you have to have played the game to know how to talk about it. I actually think there are a lot of people that play the game that don't actually understand it that well, which is fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people that are really good at something, but they're not good at explaining it. And so like there are people out there that have never played rugby league or at the very least never played it professionally that have a really good insight into the game. So I'm not of them. However, it is a bit of a stamp of approval. Like, well, he's been there and done it. So like there's a certain amount of respect you give that opinion, even if it's wrong. And so, yeah, that's the only real help I got. Other than that, like, I mean, the real help I got was, you know what the real help was? It was knowing enough boys to be able to say, can you come on the podcast?
Yeah.
That was the big up and how supportive they were. I never forget when I asked Bo Ryan, and we were good friends at the time. And I was like, hey, bro, you want to come on my podcast? He was like, what's a podcast? and I was like, oh, it's just we sit down, we have a chat. It's at my house. So yeah, in the first studio I had, was in my lounge room. So we didn't have a living room because the podcast was set up all the time because I didn't want to pack it up and pack it down.
Yeah, punish.
And so yeah, there's all these, you know, people often sit there and they go, oh fuck, I deserve this because I work so hard and and all that carry on. But like, that's nonsense. You're not thinking of all the little favors that were done to you by people that love you. Even like, or people that care about you. Like even like, you know, my ex-partner, letting that sit in the fucking lounge room the whole time. Like, you know, little things like that. If you're really going to sit there and go, no, I did this. I'm the one that did this. It's like, yeah, kinda. But like, think about all the people that helped you out along the way.
Of course.
You know, I always hate that mindset of like, you know, it's funny. I remember when I was younger, I used to think like, when I see men or women get up and be like, I just want to thank my husband or my wife. I was like, when I was quite young and I was like, what the hell? like you did that yourself. Like you did that yourself. And it's not till you get older, you realize, if you don't have a partner at home, it's very supportive and sacrifice. And like, it's not even the sacrificing of a dream. It's the idea that your dream is the priority of the family. Like, you know, you might have a partner. She or he might not have this crazy dream that they're like, I can't be a famous singer anymore. I'm going to focus on my partner's dream or whatever. It's not necessarily that. It's more like, everything is geared towards the husband's dream. Like, for example, let's say the husband or the wife's dream. Let's say you got an NRL player and the kids need to be watched on the weekend, but he's got to go and play. But then the wife or the husband go, well, no, I want to do this for my job. Why is his job more important than hers?
Yeah, true.
Other than, like, I know the financial one, but let's just say they're both earning the same. Why is his job more important than hers, or why is her job more important than his?
Well, it's not.
It's not. However, there's one person in the relationship stepping back and saying, all right, I'm going to be there for you to support your dream, and all these little decisions that we make that in reality it's a 50-50 split unless I'm talking before the point you've said that I'm going to be the provider, you're going to be the carer or whatever. I'm talking before that point. It's not more important. But there are millions and millions and billions of partners out there that go, okay, I'll get on board this ride. And that's what I get, you know. It's funny, I always used to think, again, when I was younger, that award shows were very like narcissistic almost, like, what? You're up on stage, look at me, I'm so great. But But as I got older, I realized award shows aren't for the person getting the award. They're for the person around the person getting the award. They're for the person that gets to watch their husband or their wife go up and they sit back and they go, yeah, well, you know, we did that. And now I'm proud. He's a representation of what we tried to achieve as a team kind of thing. That's in my opinion anyway. I don't even know how the fuck we got speaking about this.
I have no idea how we got there.
Yeah. Who cares?
Can I give a quick memory? I actually just peered there for a second because I remember the first time I saw one of your videos. I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, I know that guy. He's the one that scored the try, the Lockyer try. And obviously I remember the try, but I actually remember reading about it in Darren Lockyer's book.
Yeah.
Which is sitting right there. I remember being so fascinated by it because he wasn't wearing number 6. He was wearing number 20 something because he just come back from a PCL tear or something.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the story that is kind of forgotten about. That Lockie put it on a bloody dime for you, and he basically had his knee was fucked.
Oh mate, Lockie. Like I just think he's so underrated. Like I know he's not underrated, but he is underrated. Like the fact that there's even a question about immortality with Lockie is fucking outrageous.
Yeah, best in the world at 2 positions.
Like, look at his resume, bro.
Yeah,
the start of the dynasty for Queensland. Premierships in multiple positions, like, bruh.
I remember I was at school in his last year, 2011, and like when you're a school kid, that's when you hate the most footy players, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because you're not thinking about like they're a human being. It's like, fuck that guy.
Exactly. But all our friends, because the prelim was going to be against Manly at Suncorp Stadium, at Allianz Stadium, so around the corner from us. The week before, he kicked the field goal against the Dragons, but he broke his cheekbone.
Yeah. And
all of us got tickets to the game because we all wanted to watch Lockyer play against Manly in the prelim, which would have been his last game in Sydney besides the grand final if they made it.
Yeah.
He didn't play in the end. He was going to wear headgear, didn't play. But like a bunch of school kids all wanted to go watch Lockier's last game. That's how much he was loved.
Yeah.
Like a Broncos Queensland legend.
Yeah, 100%. I'll never forget that the goated tackling footage. Remember when he came out? He's like, I never tackled that dude on the street.
The what?
You don't remember that controversy? Mate, you're probably too young. So basically what happened is like this big report came out that Lockyer had like tackled this dude on the street. Like, because like Lockyer on the drink, like he's very calm and collected.
Oh, okay, I know this story.
But like Lockyer on the drink is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. You're just like, who is this bloke? Like, as a leader off the drink, it's like calm, collected, fuck, just like a dog, an animal, just so fucking zoned in. On the drink, he is a menace in a good way, just a legend.
Yeah.
I mean, he learned to laugh Alfie, so like, what do you fucking expect?
Well, yeah.
And he came out and he fully denied it. He was like, nah, never happened. Next night, there's literally footage of him tackling the dude on the street. I think it was Caxton Street too.
Of course it was.
So good, bro.
That's so lit. That's legendary.
That's the controversies you want.
Exactly.
Like
That's rugby league
bro,
controversy.
you know what's crazy is what a Derek for complaining about that.
Oh, seriously.
Who wouldn't want to be tackled by Darren Lockyer in his prime on the street, bro?
Oh, I would love to be.
You know what I mean?
Sick.
I think it was the guy that sooked about it.
You tell your mates about that forever.
I think it was. I'm sorry if it wasn't, and it just got a story that got out, but because this was in the day, and I said this story a million times, so I'll be quick. And shout out to Darren, absolute legend. This was in the day where owners of bars and that like, we've changed so much, we've gotten so far away from it. But back in the day, there used to be almost a bit of a code of honor just between anyone. Like, you get caught doing something, all right, don't tell anyone about it. Or if there's a punch on or some shit. Like, this is how crazy it is. And I'm not some tough guy at all. Like, everyone knows that. But like, if someone pulled a fucking phone out in a punch on back in the day,
Yeah.
they would get clean knocked out. And I'm not trying to say that to be tough or whatever. I'm telling you, that's facts. Now, it is so... Like, I remember when it started to first happen, many people would be like, what the hell are you doing? But now we're so desensitized to it. It's so normal. When something bad happens, get your phone out. But back in the day, it was the opposite. It was, okay, something bad's happened. Even though I don't know those people, I'm not a dog. Like don't get your phones out. Like, help them. Don't help them. Anyway, so back, I remember I was in like at the Normby. This dude said something really inappropriate to these girls I was with. I wasn't like trying to be a tough guy or anything like that, but I just was like, bro, like what the fuck? Like, what? You don't even know these girls. Anyway, got into a bit of a push and shove, bit of a fight or whatever. And then the next day he calls me in and deletes the footage. Like, that was the mindset.
The pub owner.
Darren.
Cool.
Legend. Didn't need to do that, would have made some money. And this is like 2008. So like, I know I'm not some star or whatever, but like I was pretty big in that year.
Yeah.
And so he would have made money from it or whatever. But that was the general social zeitgeist of like, we're a community almost. And it sucks that, sound like an old man now, but it just sucks that we've gotten so far away from that. Like it is so dog out world out there. Like there's still a lot of great people, but anytime something bad happens, boom, phone. Everyone's just thinking, I'm going to get heaps of attention from this because I'll be able to put it up and get likes. Instead of being like, something bad's happening, don't be a fucking dog. Let's sort it out here. And I think a lot of young people right now are not going to understand what I'm saying, but I promise you, like that really was the culture for not just like, some people here, some people there. For everyone, it was the culture. Bad happened, don't film it, don't be a dog. Anyway, so that's why I think Lockyer thought he could come out and say, didn't do it, because the culture was, don't be a dog. Don't film it and send it to someone, but clearly some dog got them, like wanted to get paid for it kind of thing. And look, I get it. It's such a complicated conversation because are you a dog if you've got footage of a little bit of a punch on, whatever, and your family needs money for hospital? What is the moral right thing to do? What would you do?
Well, if my family needed it, I'd be cashing in.
Yeah, and then then you take it a step further. Okay, so what if just in general you're struggling for cash and life is hard?
I guess it depends on what it is too. Yeah. Like if you know they're not going to get in heaps of trouble, let me make it clear, I would never send anything in.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, if they got in a punch on, like they're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But if they're doing something like illegal, then that's like
the problem is punch-ons are illegal now. You get done even if they don't charge, the other person doesn't charge you, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's a wrong example, but yeah. So anyway, so that's what I mean. It's like it's obviously if you're not struggling, and when I say struggling, I mean struggling, then you're absolutely the biggest dog ever by sending that in. Like if you're just looking for cat, like you are a dog.
You're a dog.
Whereas, can I judge the man that family is struggling financially and he's got 2 young kids and like he's got all these bills to pay and the pressure of the money comes? I'd like to think I have the integrity and strength to say no to it, but I find it very hard to judge the man or woman that has a family.
Yeah, when you're in that situation, that's what you do.
Yeah, so
I've also always wondered how much they get paid for those videos.
Yeah,
my grasp on that is non-existent. I wouldn't have a clue.
Oh yeah, neither. Maybe $5,000 or whatever. Listen, if you're just a single person with no kids and you do it and you're just desperate for money, hey, bro, sort it out yourself. Like, fucking get over it,
mate.
But if you're like a struggling family or whatever, like I would never do it because I've got confidence in myself. I'll go out and get a job, but it's hard to be less judgmental. But anyway. So yeah, Lockyer the goat. I don't even know how we got onto that.
Oh, seriously.
Don't forget like and subscribe. Also, guys, Grumpy Coffee. Go to grumpycoffee.com.au. 85 cupping rating, guys. It is premium coffee, and I promise you will not be disappointed. Over 500 5-star reviews of a coffee. Some of the most snobbish judgment you can get. And it's 500 5-star reviews. Trust me, guys, you will not be disappointed. Every day and very grumpy. Got quite a lot of people actually message me saying, hey, I ordered some grumpy. I absolutely love it. Honestly, order it, give it a try. If you hate it, shoot us a message. Let me know. I want to know. And so we can tweak things or we can bring new flavors out or whatever. We've got every day. We've got very, very grumpy as well. In regards to getting to your house, usually a day or two. Any dramas, you shoot customer service, we can sort it. So grumpycoffee.com.au. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm back dinking them, Russ.
What?
I'm back dinking them. Did you see me dink on the Instagram?
I have no idea what that means. Football, soccer. Yeah, sorry. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that was
You got the soccer bug back because you were talking to me about it the other day as well.
Yeah, I got the soccer bug back. Yeah, I think I got the soccer bug back. I think I do. Look, I might just. You know what? I might just play A-League. You know what? I think I'm going to play A-League. I've made the choice. But I don't know what it is. Like, I definitely, miss it every now and then. I think it's my kids, man. I think it's my sons. Like, it just puts you into this different mindset of like, thinking about them and your youth and, wanting to. I'll be honest. I'll be feeling. Okay, so I remember a couple of weeks ago, and the guy wasn't trying to be harsh, but he was like, it was probably giving me a compliment. But he was like, you'd never know. Looking at Kempy, you'd never know he's got the biggest sports podcast in the country. And I was like, I know it's a compliment, I think, about being humble and, not carrying on or whatever. And like, I don't care. Me, as individual, I don't care. I'm happy to be humble. I'm wearing thongs right now, shorts, fuck, whatever. Like that. That's just the way I am. But I was like, bro, I don't want to represent my kids like that. I don't want to be a dag for my kids. Like I want people to be like, that's their father. And that's the different mindset. Once you have kids, you don't start, you stop thinking about just what you want, and you start thinking about, how does this represent my children? I always think like, I would hate to think my kids are in a playground and they proudly say to someone, my dad's Denny Kemp or whatever, and the kids laugh or some shit like that, or like, oh, he's a loser. I'd be so ashamed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then it makes you think about, okay, being a good role model. So I'm like, okay, well, as my kid gets older, it'll be good for him to see me playing sport rather than the guy that used to play sport. You can only show a kid so many highlights.
Yeah.
And he'll probably be like, Dad, this is cringe. Get it off the TV. And so I'm like, now I'm thinking, okay, well, as he gets old enough to realize it, I want him to be like seeing me leaving the house, going and playing sport. And it's not necessarily about me forcing my kid to be like a superstar athlete or even just a professional athlete. It's more just about showing him, keeping your body healthy, staying active. Sport's important. Doing physical things is important. That's at least what I got from my dad. He used to, every morning, bro, we had the oldest, like, those old weights that are so old, they're like red because of all the rust and that on them?
I've seen
you've seen it?
I've seen them.
Yeah, so you've seen it. So when I say, a lot of people go, oh yeah, my dad used to do weight in the garage. And you go, oh yeah, so he's just in the garage with a couple of cars. Bro, this garage is like, you can explain it.
Well, it's like old tin shed. It's every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, but of an Aussie, honestly, an outback tin shed, essentially.
Yeah.
Like no size, just a roof, weights that have all rust all over them. He would wake up every morning. This is before anyone knew anything about cold therapy. Have a cold shower by choice, and then I would hear him. Honestly, most mornings I wouldn't even see him. I would just hear him, and I would just hear this, and he would just be down there working out by himself. Get in the car at like 6 o'clock, drive up to Brisbane about an hour and 10 minutes, work all day. Wouldn't get home till as I got older. So when Queensland Roar asked me to go and play for them when I was like 15 or something, he would then, so before that, he would just get home and have his own thing or whatever about 8 o'clock or 7:30 or whatever. But then when I got up to the Roar, 3 days a week, he would finish work at like 3, so he'd ask to leave early. He'd come home, get me from Gold Coast, Mudgeerbar, drive me back up to Brisbane, sit in the car, wait for me to train for 2 hours, drive me all the way home, and we get home at like 10 o'clock at night. And he would be essentially falling asleep as we got into the driveway. Like genuinely so tired that he'd be like this. He'd get up the next morning, same thing. 4 o'clock, cold shower, weights, boom, does it all again. Just to give me an opportunity.
Seriously. That's it. Like, if I put myself in, like, if that was my routine, it makes me sick.
I know. I don't know how he did it. And when I say, and I'm not exaggerating, and I know I'm doing the dad brag right now. I'm bragging about my dad, but I don't give a fuck. When I say I've never heard that man complain, I swear on everything. I'll swear on anything. Growing up, I never heard him complain once. Now, I've heard him complain since, but it was about something very serious. And that was probably, I think, it's about 3 or 4 years ago now. And it wasn't really complaining about work or anything. It's about something serious. But before that, I'd never heard him complain. Yeah. Never once said, oh, fuck, got to go to work. Oh, fuck, got to take your kids to training. Oh, fuck. Never in my whole fucking life.
And like someone that's got an excuse to complain.
Yeah, if he was like, hey, I'm a bit tired to come down to kick the ball with you and that. Because I was always like, oh, I want Dad to come down and kick the ball with me and Cern. And like he couldn't because he was working all the time. And now I look back, I'm like, yeah, no shit he couldn't come down. He's fucking working his dick off just to provide for the family. Yeah, but I got the soccer bug. So I went down, man, looking for a frigging good soccer field. There's one in Karela or some stuff like that, but I try to find one I just want one with like decent nets up. Listen, box nets would be great, near the Shire-ish. I think Karela one. But I went down to like a place just near me and started kicking the ball again. You know what's so weird is like initially I was like, far out. Well, I'm definitely so sloppy and unfit. We all know that. But initially it's like, to a normal person, they'd be like, oh, he's kicking the ball like someone that might have played soccer before. But to me, I'm going, geez, this feels weird as. But far out, how quickly it can like come back to you, just the knowing where of the ball to kick, how to kick it. Because I haven't kicked a ball in maybe 8 years, 9 years.
Jeez.
So went to league, and then from that point on, like every now and then there might be a soccer ball for warm up, but genuinely going down to the park to kick in that, since I quit soccer, I think I've done it twice in 20 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time. So this was the second time. And like, you know, obviously it took more than one take to fucking hit the crossbar. Jesus Christ. I just kept telling people in the comments like, yeah, I got out of the car, I did it, and then I went home. I think it took about 10 takes, not being fair to him.
Still.
But that shows you how important training is from 5 years old to 18.
Because it creates that like kind of muscle memory.
I haven't kicked a fucking soccer ball in 20 years, but I still feel natural doing it because I did it for so long as a kid.
Where if some random had 10 goes, like if some 30-year-old had 10 goes.
He'd fall over his feet.
Yeah.
He'd literally fall over his feet.
Yeah.
And that's what's so weird is like even all the training I did with footy and that, like I still feel more comfortable with soccer ball in my feet. So I got the bug back. I've decided I'm going to play A-League. So reach out clubs. I'll take the highest offer. Take the offers. To be honest, you'll be paying pretty much for just PR. Old man. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just with kids, it changes your mindset a bit. That's that. What are you doing this weekend?
I've got my good friend's birthday. I'm actually doing a cocktail making class with my dad, which will be fun.
Wow.
We got it for him. Me and my sisters got it for him for his birthday. And it's one of those things, like it takes forever to book in. So tomorrow's the day. Yeah, we had to book months ago.
Oh, right. Get a cocktail making business. Jesus.
Yeah. Otherwise, catch up with a mate tonight and watching the footy on Sunday. So not a lot of it, which is nice.
DC joins the Roosters. We all knew what was happening. Okay, on to the next subject.
Yeah,
Cameron Smith to join the Broncos. Cam Smith is reportedly in negotiations. I want to make it really clear. So, because a lot of people have put up like Cam Smith has signed with this or whatever. He is set to sign, and he's in the actual article says negotiations. Now, granted, usually in these situations, the journos are onto it, like they're pretty bang on. But I just wanted to make that clear. It hasn't been confirmed by the Brisbane Broncos. But usually when they say set to sign, it's like it's pretty far along, especially a guy like Smithy, who has a very strong, I guess, like you're not fucking with Smithy in regards to like if you're trying to get Smithy to the club, you're not leaking stuff against his will.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
It just don't be an idiot, bro. If you're dealing with the GOAT, show him the respect he deserves. So anyway, I hope that's the case anyway. But anyway, so set to sign with the Broncos. It's understood Smith joined Maguire at Noosa last week, where Brisbane coaching staff and CEO Dave Donaghy gathered to begin planning their title defence in 26. Okay, so first off, I've seen quite a lot of Storm fans upset and hurt and I guess feel a little bit betrayed. And I get that feeling, that immediate feeling, because I go, okay, I put myself in their position. Like if Lockyer went and signed with another club, especially one that just beat us in the grand final, especially all the history between Brisbane Broncos, would it sting? Yeah, I can empathise for sure. I definitely can empathise why you're feeling those feelings. But I sat down and I thought about it for a bit longer. And like, first of all, Smithy lives on the Gold Coast and has for many years. But second of all, like, not only has Smithy paid the price with what he did for the Melbourne Storm, like tenfold over, but at the end of his career, he was the Dally M Hooker of the Year. He could have easily signed with another club, probably 2 or 3 years for $1 million a year, probably $1.2 million a year, and also a guarantee into the coach's role as well. Like, so he probably walked away. So to be loyal to the Storm at the end of his career and be a one-club man, he probably said no to about $5 million, I reckon, all up. You reckon?
Probably.
So like 3 years on $1 million?
Yeah.
And then like coaching staff for the next 2 or 3 years after that?
And it would have been $1 million minimum.
Like probably 1.2.
Because he probably would have gone to the Gold Coast and they would have given him heaps.
Yeah. And we all know the reports at the time. Like that was in serious discussion.
By the way, how funny was he when he literally just went down to the footy park just to kick the ball around in the Gold Coast just to create some headlines just to be funny?
Just to be funny. It's so good. He's a legend. He's absolute legend. And so I just want to be, and I know there's going to be Storm fans that are just not going to hear me regardless. So I get it. But he's already paid the price of loyalty, in my opinion, to the Melbourne Storm. I feel like we all know he was a Dally M hooker. He, won the premiership, like should have won a Clive. That was his last year, wasn't it?
Well, he should have won a Clive in 2017. But he was okay. So
first half there, they put the bets out.
So Sportsbet paid it out. That's how close it was. Yeah.
So I personally had him winning the Clive. Yeah. I thought he should have won it. But anyway,
he should have won one.
Yeah. So last game, he wins the premiership. And we all know the reports that were coming out in regards to him going to the Titans. And let's be fair, dinkum, he genuinely could have gone to any club. He is one of the true players, like Joey, Lockyer, the very few players that truly it does not matter who was in their position, he would have got signed to that club.
Yeah.
So that's the price he paid. He paid that price of loyalty and said, I'm going to be a one-club man, even though I'm the best number 9 in the comp by a mile already, could go to another club, earn millions, minimum $5 million, minimum. But out of loyalty to the Melbourne Storm, I'm not going to do that to be a one-club player. That's the price paid, in my opinion. Like, if Lockyer was in the same position, I'd go, you know what? I get it. I get it. And I know it's going to be very hard to remove the emotion from it at all. But as I said, if I try to put myself in a situation, let's say like Lockyer got paid a score all the way up to the end and his form was a bit poor towards the end. And so Broncos were almost doing him a favour by keeping him on or whatever, or not other clubs wanted him. But if he was in Smithy's shoes where he was winning Dally M's or whatever last year and, and he was turning down millions to go other places to be a one-club player, I think he's earned the right to be able to, especially by the fact, what do you want him to do? Go and live in bloody Melbourne?
Yeah.
So I think he's paid the price to be able to do whatever he wants. I think that his actions should speak louder than any other words that might come of this. I think that if you're going to say no to $5 million essentially to be a one-club man, you've earned the right to then eventually work with other clubs in a mentor role, in my opinion.
Well, let's look at Andrew Johns for the Knights. I'd love to know how Knights fans feel about that because Andrew Johns has worked for the Roosters. He's worked for the Eels.
Well, try to put yourself in your position. A Rabbitohs legend.
Yep.
Did the exact same thing with Cam Smith, and then he went to coach for. It's not Roosters.
Not Roosters.
It's not Roosters Rabbitohs rivalry. No, but it is a pretty big rivalry.
Maybe like Bulldogs or someone. Yeah. I don't know. See, Greg Inglis went to the Tigers, right? Yeah. And I didn't even blink at that.
Yep.
Tigers and South don't really have the biggest rivalry, I guess, and Tigers obviously aren't going that well, so I guess it's a little bit different. But if Sam Burgess went to the Bulldogs, I reckon I'd feel weird about that.
Yeah.
I reckon I'd feel weird. I don't think I'd be offended by it. I'd be ropeable if he went to the Roosters, but I think I'm with you.
Would it sting more though if let's say the club was really good to him and kept him till the end of his career and he couldn't get a contract anywhere else or whatever, then he went and did that. Would that sting more, do you think, or?
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I think that's the way a lot of people are thinking about it.
Yeah, Matty Johns. That's actually a bad example because the Knights let go of him. But I was going to say, Matty Johns was integral to helping the Storm win a couple of grand finals.
Yeah.
And he's a Knights guy.
Yeah,
that's probably not a good example, to be fair. But
it's tough because it really is. There's no real example.
Yeah,
it's Cam Smith.
Yeah,
he's a one club player goat.
Yeah,
the goat of everything, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I think there's the other added little spice to it is the Broncos passing him.
Well, okay. Oh, that too. Yeah. I think the big one, and obviously I'm not going to speak for Storm fans. They can feel however they want to feel. I've not been in that situation, so fair enough. But I think that what other fans are kind of rolling their eyes at is they just won the comp, the Broncos. As if they need freaking Cameron Smith. That was literally my first
Actually,
thought.
You know what? Well, actually, I've got a bone to pick.
Okay.
Rugby League guru. Claims to not have a team. Claims to like every team equally. That's what the claim is. And to my surprise, I put the post up and I think, you know what? Guru, the guy that doesn't have a team apparently, that loves every team equally, he'll be happy. First comment, fuck this.
Really?
So I tell you who his team isn't. It's the Brisbane Broncos.
We can cross Broncos off the list.
Just saying, mate. So you get back to me about your problem with my team because I thought you liked each team equally. Just saying.
I remember
it's a Queensland-based thing, I think. It's a Queensland-based problem.
Of course it is. But I remember a few weeks ago, the day after Broncos beat Canberra in that crazy, crazy game.
Yeah.
I was sitting over there and Guru was sitting up there next to Timmy, giving him so much shit. And Timmy was obviously ropeable, right? I'm thinking,
poor Timmy.
This is bullshit. You don't even have a team, Guru.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that shit. You can't chat shit without a team.
Yeah.
Because the reason you have the right to chat shit is because you've copped it yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to earn the right to chat shit.
And the problem is, there's no situation where Timmy can get Guru back.
Nah.
Ever.
Literally ever.
It's bullshit.
So there you go, Roo. There you bloody go. You're over in England carrying on like a pork chop. Well, we're going to, when you get back, mate, you just have a little chat, mate.
Fuck this. That's hilarious.
When I saw it, I was like, fuck off, Guru. You don't have a fucking team. You're talking shit about the Broncos. It also, you know what it did, just in general, it just drives home my point. Broncos are the most hated team in the competition. Like they are. I don't care what anyone says. I think that they are obviously the biggest club, but in regards to fans that aren't Broncos fans, I think they're the most hated. I really do. And you know what's crazy? When I played, I never realised it.
I think it's them. I used to think it was Roosters. I think it's Broncos
the vitriol when the Broncos like win or like you even talk about their players for a fucking second is crazy, bro. Like it is genuine. And like obviously I'm biased, so I'm probably going to see those comments more often.
Yeah.
But it definitely be Broncos and Roosters.
Those are the big two.
Those
like
are the big two.
Manly used to be hated, but people kind of like Manly because
Manly is liked now because of the Trbojevic brothers.
You know what? As this podcast has gone on, I've started to think about it. Like Storm and Broncos are pretty big. They're massive rivals. Like
100.
If I'm a Storm fan, I probably wanted to walk back my comments now. Like I reckon I would be a little bit off it.
That's what I said. It is a rivalry.
Yeah.
It is.
The more I think about it, like it kind of is. It's not. It is close enough to South Roosters. Like it's a huge rivalry, and they've got so much history. I know the history is like 20 in the last 20 years, but still, like it's modern history. Like I don't know. I reckon the more I think about it, like I understand why Storm fans are off it.
Yeah.
But if I'm Cam Smith can do whatever he wants. Like there's no issue with that for me.
Yeah.
But I can see why Storm fans.
I can see. As I said, that's why I can see why they're not going to listen to what I have to say because they're like, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I don't care how logical what you're saying is, and I don't care how true it is that Cam Smith clearly with his actions essentially said, I will forgo $5 million to be a one club man. I hate you guys. Yeah. Fuck you, and I don't want him in a Broncos polo. If he ever is in one. Now, maybe he, part of the agreement might be like, I'm not going to wear the colours, whatever. I'm here to advise, which is, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, like I'm telling you, we hated the Storm. Bro, when we used to play the Storm, it was before the refs even knew what the wrestle was. They would crank our necks so hard you would walk. Like, put it this way, you would feel different physically when you played the Storm coming off the field than any other team in the competition because of like just how much we hated that. And then, we obviously beat them in 2006, and they beat us all the time in the regular season.
Yeah. Storm Broncos, it's just one of those games. Like it's a neutral. There's certain fixtures that I don't know how to explain it, but you just feel something. Like when it's on.
It's funny you say that because I said it to Smithy as well when we first started doing the show together. I was like, bro, did you ever? So there was club games, and every club game was pretty much the same. Like I never really went into a club game feeling that much different. And I say this respectfully, but like other than the Rabbitohs, because they were so poor, I just was like, we're going to smash these guys. Now, obviously, gun now, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Roosters a little bit, but that's more towards finals footy. Whereas when we played the Melbourne Storm all week, it was honestly like you could feel the tension in the air, like you could cut it. It was such a weird feeling. It was such an intense, even in a trial match, it was so intense around the joint. And it was funny because Smithy said, no, we felt the same. I think it has to do with like the Storm essentially took what the Broncos did and evolved it.
Yeah.
That's what they did. From early 2000s, they essentially took all of the class, the greatness, the methods, the recruitment. They took, obviously, Bellamy was at the Broncos, went down to Storm, but then also Paul Bunn, our head recruitment officer, took him as well. And they took it and ran with it. So there's always this kind of weird... to be honest, I think it's more like... And I hate to sound like a wanker because I know people don't like the Storm and Broncos, but it's more the sense of like two really good warriors hate each other but respect each other at the same time because they know how good they are. That's what it feels like before you play the Melbourne Storm, at least when I was coming through. Probably changed for a bit there when the run where we got pounded by them every single week.
Of course, yeah. But even the run, like, I'd forget that streak existed at points.
Bellamy smashes the Broncos every single week.
But it's like South Roosters to an extent. Like, it's no matter what the form line's like, no matter who's got the most wins, before you watch the game, you don't really know who's going to win.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good point. That's a good point, yeah. And I think what probably stings Storm the most is like you can point to that long as anything streak. Like it's absurd how long it is. But the Broncos fan just go, we beat you 2 grand finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so you can have the season all you want, bros.
It's 2-0, right?
2-0
They haven't beaten you in no, they haven't.
No. And it is an interesting one. Like, is it the age-old tale of like, just because Broncos have that extra bit of, they've got access to just the cream of the crop. When they get into a grand final, just that extra bit of cream of the crop, does that get them across the line?
Maybe. I don't
look at the Storm now, and it's like they are the cream of the crop.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm sure the Storm have knocked out Broncos a few times as well.
Oh, for sure. Heaps of times. Heaps of times. Yeah. In finals games, I reckon Storm would have a substantially better record against the Broncos than the Broncos against the Storm.
It's a great rivalry.
It's great.
It really is.
What's mental is like, even in the game they knocked us out, like we had that game fully in control. It was a knock-on that killed us.
Yeah, it's one of the great games.
Well, Cam Smith says, I think he says the greatest game he's ever played.
I remember watching it. It was one of the most gripping games I've ever watched in my life.
Bro, it's so weird. Like, I remember, I'll never forget, I don't want to sound rude or anything like that, but I remember being out on that field and we're like, we got these cunts. We are so much better than these cunts. Like, just thinking it. And we just had the game in such control. Like, we bombed so many opportunities, but we were still very dominant. Coming out, all we needed to do was complete the set kick to the corner and we win. Then we dropped the ball. We're shot for numbers.
Was that the game you scored that try down the middle?
Yes, I remember seeing Cooper Cronk. Remember thinking, I just need him to plant his feet and then I'll be sweet. So I made him plant his feet, passed to Lockyer, and then I've always prided myself on staying alive on plays staying alive every minute of the game, no matter what, even if the ball's on the other side of the field, like staying engaged. And then so Lockyer passed the ball back to me. I remember looking up and I think I seen Crocker and seeing like the spacing between the defenders was like half a meter bigger than it should have been, and just going, gotcha cunts. And just went bang left foot. And yeah, just like, I don't know, fucking scored. And yeah, we just had that game in control. Like, but you know what? They're the better team. They hung in there. You know what? They did what the Melbourne Storm do.
Yeah.
They fucking stayed in the game long enough for us to fuck up and just punished us for it straight away. And so, yeah, the drop ball happens, and I think it's like 2 plays later they score. But what happened was that because we were short of numbers, and honestly, they probably score no matter what, but we were short of numbers. And Hodjo used to do this thing sometimes where he would dummy for a jam in. And like, I just hadn't played enough footy to know. To be honest, you can never know because a dummy is supposed to fall. So Lockyer, so what about my edge? Lockyer, Hodjo.
Oh, outrageous.
Fucking hell. Bro, sometimes I think back and I'm just like, bro, you had no role. Like, bro, 3 years before that, I was playing soccer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he used to do this like dummy thing. And I get it because it's like a smart play. You dummy the jam in and then they panic. But he dummied, so I was always of the mind, funnily enough, like that's what I enjoyed so much about defending outside Darius Boyd, because he was very conservative. What I don't mean conservative is he wasn't good. I mean conservative is it was either A or B. There was no bullshit in between. It was either I'm jamming or I'm not.
Yeah.
And so as a winger, that's all you want, because it's like, let's make the decision. We make it together. We make the wrong one. We'll work on it. We come back again. But yeah, Hodjo, because he's such high level, like as we know, like we're talking tippity top high level center. He's a level above that, where it's like, no, I'm going to play with the rules kind of thing. The rules of being a center, of jamming and sliding out or whatever. And so he threw the dummy, and in my mind, I'm like, all right, that's the signal. Go in. And he pulled back, and when he pulled back, I go to pull back, fall over. I mean, they would have scored anyway, but then they just basically, they basically just strolled over. Greg Inglis, game's over. Game's over.
I've never seen Darren Lockyer react like that.
Fuck. I still feel so bad, bro. It wasn't reacting at me, because you could see when he reacts, he turns around. I think he looks back into where the ball was knocked on.
Yeah.
And it's funny, because it's one of those things that, you not usually, but because we all know why that happened, a Broncos fan has never ever messaged me and said that was your fault.
Oh, definitely wasn't.
I know, but like,
yeah.
Because I'm the winger at the last play that goes to jam in and then you know what I'm saying? That slips over. But I think most people knew, like, because like even if if Hodjo doesn't jam in and we slide, they literally just. It's Greg Inglis. What, you think he's going to fucking hold that?
Exactly,
cup?
yeah.
And he also had two people outside him.
Yeah,
so
it was
a try no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's how quick it happened. And I just know that year, that was the year that the Manly Seagulls beat Storm 40-0. And look, maybe we would have beaten them, maybe we wouldn't. But geez, we had a fucking good side. That week before, we had the most physical game I've ever had in my life. So the Melbourne Storm prelim was the highest quality game I've ever had in my life. The week before was the most physical, and it was against the Roosters. And I want you to go. Can you type in 2008 finals Roosters team list or whatever?
Props. Mark O'Mealy and Lapini Paya. The back row, Nate Miles, Anthony Charrington, Craig Fitzgibbon. Bench, Anthony Tupou, David Shillington, Mickey Paya, James Orbison.
So just fucking dogs.
Yeah.
Like dogs. Is Willie in there?
No.
He's not there?
No, he's not there.
But yeah, like just absolute dogs. And I remember that game. Yeah, it was so physical. What was their backline? So Braith was at 6.
Braith was at 6. So Minicello, fullback.
Yep.
Brent Gross and Sammy Parrott on the wings. Sedaman Assar and Soliola at centre. He's basically a forward anyway.
Oh, bro.
And then Anasta and Pearce in the halves.
Yeah.
So did you just win that?
Yeah. So what happened is we came out and they truly, it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's the game where Carmichael Hunt absolutely fucking folds Braith Anasta illegally, obviously. You know the way that head high? Have you seen it before?
I've seen it.
It's psycho bad.
It's
honestly,
crazy.
Kay would have been suspended for his entire life.
Oh yeah, that's a 6 to 8 weeker now.
Like that is honestly, I reckon it's more. I reckon he gets more.
Yeah.
I reckon that shot today, he probably gets 12 weeks.
Yep.
And
it was bad.
And what a lot of people, you know what? Can you go back and get it up? I just want to see what minute that was in. That's 7 tackle breaks this game.
You did?
Yeah.
In the final?
Yeah. 5 tackles, 0 miss. Bro, I don't want to hear no fucking jokes about me not being able to tackle ever again. Go fuck yourselves, you dogs. You hear that team that just got read out? 5 tackles, 0. So these is my stats on the night against the Roosters down at Allianz. 1 try, then 121 metres, I think, which was the second most in the team, just behind Hodjo. Only 3 of those were kick return metres. Line breaks 2. Tackle breaks 7. Offloads 1. Stop it. Fucking Sunnyville at yard. Offload. Bro, Sunnyville. Tackle efficiency. 100%, bro. I don't want to hear nothing. Bro, that is the best tackle efficiency in the entire game. Just wait, let me check. Bro, I just need to check because it's the best in the Broncos by a mile. Let me check. Bro, fuck. If I ever see a comment talking about how I couldn't tackle, I'm going to laugh. There's only one other guy with 100% tackle efficiency that night, and he was a number 9. And he made 11 tackles in the middle.
Really? I
made 5 tackles on a wing for 100% tackle efficiency. I don't ever want to hear it, baby. I don't ever want to hear it.
In one of the toughest games.
Honestly, it was fucking mental. Anyway, so bro, and the dude that has 100% as well, he played for fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Like in the middle as well, which is like 50, you got what blokes next to you. So listen, I don't want to hear no nonsense about Beak not being able to tackle. I'm a tackling machine. Bloody Tony Carroll level style. Who was the last guy that made like a bazillion tackles? 0 misses. Like it goes at the Broncos, it goes Payne Haas and then Denton Kemp in regards to high quality defense. But yeah, anyway, that was my stats. And so, sorry, when was the hit again?
The hit was 2009. So you must not have been there.
Okay, yeah, mustn't have been there. Anyway, so that game, I never forget. We walked off the field after the first half and we're just like, what the fuck just happened? It was the most aggressive. I've never seen anything so aggressive. Anyway, so we walked off, but this was I reckon, the biggest dogs I've ever witnessed or come across is that early 2000s Broncos sides. They were such fucking dogs. that they could get the fucking shit bashed out of them for a half, and still we walked out of that tunnel going, fuck, we got these cunts. Yeah, but that's when I was like committed to footy. That's when I was like actually cared, wanted to play. And so 2009 had all the dramas off the field.
And you're at a different team.
Yeah, but it's mainly the dramas off the field. Because I actually, the preseason I did really well for the Warriors. But it just terrible. Like, oh man, I look back and I'm like, bro, you were in the worst relationship in history. Came back to the Broncos, started killing it again, scored that match winner against the Cowboys, then broke my ribs, lung collapsed.
Was that the Cowboys try where you were knocked out?
Nah, that was 2008.
Oh, okay.
2008. I scored 2 tries that night.
Far out. 2008 was a lot of stuff.
I think I scored 21 tries or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And also, this is a time where it was like probably a bit harder to score at this stage than now. Now, obviously, the game is quicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2010, broke my ribs, lung collapsed. That put me out for the season, kept trying to rush me back. 2011, pretty much like new coach comes, like come back, good Nick, new coach comes in and basically there were certain things agreed to let's just put it this way. They didn't want to hold their end of the bargain on certain things. And then from really that point on, you know, it sounds dramatic, but my heart was just broken, bro. I was so fucking just devastated that the Broncos would do that to me because I cared about them so much. And they'll always be my team, and no matter what, doesn't matter how much they don't like me or whatever, they'll always be my team. Or doesn't matter what they do to me because of just the opportunity I got. But at that stage, as a young man, that just was like, bro, I didn't know anyone in footy. Like even though I was like at that stage, I was like 3 years into it, but like still feeling relatively lonely in the sense of like guidance. Didn't have a manager at that time as well. And I was just fucking heartbroken. I was just like, fucking. So that's when everything just went downhill from there pretty much. Like obviously I went to Union for it, came back, had massive issues off the field with Union, came back, tried to get the car started again for the Dragons, actually trialled really well again, but similar situation, was still in that really poor relationship.
Was that the Charity Shield where you had the fight with Reynolds?
Yeah. So I jammed in and he dropped the ball from me jamming in. And
he spoke about that recently. Where did I hear him speak about that?
Oh, really?
Oh, it was on Kevy's potty.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he spoke about that on Kevy's potty.
Yeah. So, yeah, jammed in off the wing. He dropped the ball, we win the game. And so I actually trialled really well there as well. But again, once the season kicked in, like it was always the same. Fuck, just dramas. And then quit footy. Like this would have been the worst period of my life. It was just in such a bad headspace. Quit footy. And I'll never forget, so I'd quit footy and I was just so disillusioned with it, like just fucking so disillusioned with it. And so I just went fucking mental. Then I was just going bendering every single week. And I remember, so I'd been bendering, and it would have been like maybe January. So I've literally just been bendering all summer.
So is this 2013?
This is 2012 into 13.
Oh, 2012, 20.
And so like I'm bendering, footy's over, like genuinely just done. And so I'm bendering all summer. And I remember one bender where it was like literally like Friday, Saturday, like genuinely, maybe even Saturday, Sunday. And I remember waking up to a missed call from the Broncos, and I called Andrew G back, and he's like, hey bro, hey mate, do you want to come back? And I was like, I looked around and I was like, bro, I'm not doing anything else, that's for sure. So I came back, and so I was back focused. When I'm focused, it's I don't want to say easy, but anyway, whatever. And so came back, was focused, and trialled the best of any winger at the club at the time, and probably should have been taken over to New Zealand for the last trial, but I get why Hook didn't, because like you guys had been there all preseason and rah. So I get it. Went really well, and basically got named to play mid-year. So it was like I would have been back into footy, and it was like 1,000 days since I played. And then he named me at number 2 or something like that, 2 or 5. And then 2 days before the game, he calls me in the office and he's basically dropped me out of the side before. And it unfortunately just like reinforced all the negative things that I'd been through in footy. And I was just like, fuck, I'm done, bro. This is fucking bullshit. And again, like I'm not sitting here saying that, like I hold myself accountable for the decision I made. And like, you know, maybe I was being a sooky young kid kicking rocks instead of just working hard and going. But again, I didn't know, bro. I just didn't know at that stage. Especially when you know, if I had have struggled to make sides before that, I think I might have been more well equipped to deal with it when things just like for some reason didn't go your way. But because my whole life, you know, not that it was easy, but like I'd made nearly all the sides, and it was always like, just play really well and get selected. That was just that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
And so that's really, and so like, yeah, it's hard because like sometimes you carry a lot of shame, not from the perspective of like, am I like not happy with what I achieved, but from the perspective of like, as you get older, I didn't give myself these genetics or whatever. I just got fucking lucky. And there are so many kids out there that would kill for the opportunity to have that. And I'm not talking like, I'm not trying to talk myself up and be like, I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just expressing how I felt or feel is like, I won a lottery and I didn't spend the money correctly, in my opinion. That's how but then I think back and I go, but you're a young man just trying to navigate some pretty fucked situations that weren't really your fault. And you probably didn't have enough people in your corner in rugby league that could guide you in the direction. Like, because by the time I went back to the Broncos, I definitely didn't have a manager then. And I definitely, when I went from Warriors back to the Broncos, I didn't have a manager then because I've been through the story before, but, I've been through that story many times. But yeah, I don't even know how the fuck we started speaking about this.
This podcast is just, we're going
all over the shop.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cam Smith, the Broncos.
Yeah, Cam Smith, that's where we're at.
I think it's great. And when I spoke to him, when he called me and said I won't be able to do the radio show anymore, he did say that he was really interested in, doing this kind of stuff at clubs. Not this specifically. He didn't talk about the Broncos at all, guys. Just more leadership roles at clubs. And makes sense. Like, you don't become the captain of Australia for like the longest ever if you don't have some kind of enjoyment for it.
Yeah.
And I said at the time when we announced that he wasn't going to be part of the radio show, like I was like, this is better for the game. Like this is like, don't get me wrong. If I put myself first, I'm like, freak, I wanted my show back with Smithy.
Yeah.
Of course I do. I would do it in a fucking drop of a hat. I'd love to do a show with Smithy again. I always loved yarning with Smithy. But in regards to the game, like we need him involved in it. He's the GOAT. The knowledge that he can impart on the younger generation. And it just so happened it looks like he's going to land at the Broncos, which is like, you know what, if I'm being honest, look, did I sacrifice for the Broncos? Did I sacrifice my co-host? Yeah, I did. So listen, I thank you. It'd be nice for the Broncos. A thanks. Maybe just like hey, Kempy, thanks for like sacrificing something you really enjoyed once a week in your life for the betterment of the Broncos. Like maybe just that, just one.
Well, they won the comp anyway, so.
Mate, bro, when you win a comp, bro, anytime your life is shit, you just go, bro, we won a comp.
I remember the summer of 2014. I dined out on that premiership all summer. And then we went over to New Zealand and won the Nines, and I was just like, life can't get better than this.
Oh, man. It's crazy. Like, every time I think of, like, next year or how we're going to go, like, I'm like, obviously I care. I care, but at the same time, I'm like, we did it, baby.
Yeah.
Drought's broken. You know what I mean? Drought's broken. Like, we can dine on that for at least another 5 years. Now, obviously, I'm not going to dine out on it for 5 years because I want to see us go well again, but they did it. Smithy to the Broncos. I mean, look, is there much to say? Like, everyone knows how good that is.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much to say. I'm super excited to see Moses develop under him. That's what makes me so like to think of a spine eventually of Moser, Walsh, Mam, either Black or Pezzett. Bro. Wow.
They're doing good, Broncos, in terms of like setting up for their future.
Mate, they're doing really good. Like if they honestly, the spine. Let's say Pezzett works out or doesn't work out. Let's just say for some reason, bizarre reason, he doesn't work out. You essentially got the best young 7 coming through, the best young 9 coming through with 2 absolute superstars.
Yeah, established stars already.
That have not just like in-season stars. Like the thing is that most players that are really good, they're just really good in season. They get to finals footy and you never see them. It's one thing to be good in season. It's a whole nother level to be good in finals footy. And the Mam and Walsh have done that multiple times now.
Well, I mean, yes, Walsh, obviously, but Mam literally in 2 grand finals. Like
Mental.
the 2 biggest games of his career.
Mental. And so, yeah, with his guidance, it's just like, wow. Wow. So I can't wait. I'm super excited. Obviously, I hope it happens. I just think that, as I said, he's born to be a leader, Cam Smith. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple. So I'm really, really happy for him. Really happy. That was brought to you by Code Sports. Go to Bloke for discount offer. And there'll be $49 for the year. We've got a couple exciting things coming with Code Sports soon, so stay tuned as well. Also brought to you by Menulog. Use code BROWN for $7 off sushi. Use code BROWN. Also brought to you by Aspley Mazda. Currently got a sale going on with used cars. LDC_01. Give Luke a follow. Shoot him a message. And also, I think they're doing a massive giveaway too as well, currently Aspley Mazda. So go to them as well and check them out. Lukey and Aspley Mazda giving away a Mazda, Ford Mazda, all 55 grand cash, them in collaboration with someone else. Guys, Lukey does Lukey does giveaways all the time, so you've got to be following him. Okay, Golden Boot nominees. Dylan Brown, Buller, Cotter, Angus Crichton, Harry Grant, Payne Haas, IPAP, Lockie Lamb, Moses Leota, Jerome Loy, Casey McLean, Cam Munster, Papali'i, Junior Bowlaw, Jeremiah Nanai, Tarpane, Timoko, and Reece Walsh. Trying to think. Did it say Munster? Yeah, it said Munster. Yeah. That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, and I get why they have to do all the, share it amongst the teams.
Yeah.
I understand why they have to do that, but in my opinion, it comes down to two teams, the New Zealanders and the Samoans.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think the Ashes footy has been of a high enough level.
Sorry, it's been bad.
Yeah, it's just been, watching that is you're sitting there going, this is genuinely local leagues, as in New South Wales Cup standard footy. Well, not New South Wales Cup, you know what I'm saying. Just wasn't good. Okay, it's got to be between New Zealand and Samoa. We'll say Casey McLean, a bit of a smoky.
Yep.
Bit of a smoky. I'd say the front runners right now are Dylan Brown. Angus, you can't give it to an Australian, can you?
I don't think you can.
You just can't. They've just been fucking so...
if they win 60-0 tomorrow, then I'll hear it. But if it's another close grind and it's low quality and there's heaps of errors and it's average, then I got to give it to one of the Samoans or the Kiwis, because these Pacific Championships, those two teams have been phenomenal. Even if Samoa was lost, they were pretty good.
Yep. Well, another smoky for me is Tarpane. I just think that the tough thing for Tarpane is he doesn't do the flash. He's got flash stuff in him, obviously. But all of his stuff is just so high quality. So it's it's not going to be on the highlight reel. But if you actually watch the game, someone else's stats might be better. Okay, here's a good example. So that first game, Payne Haas versus New Zealand, I still had Payne Haas just a bit ahead of Tarpane. But when you looked at the stats, you're like, what do you mean a bit ahead? It was miles ahead. But it's bro, watch the game. Tarpane was freaking unbelievable in that game. And so he's a guy that,
Tarpane was so close to winning it 2 years ago. Remember Fisher Harris came in after he won and said, I thought Tarpane was going to win.
And he was, in regards to just individual performance, I actually thought he should have, but I thought that the leadership of Fish got him across the line. I think he is definitely a big shout. Junior Bowlaw's an interesting one. He's going to need a really good game this game, because you've got to remember his first game wasn't great.
Yeah.
Mate, I wouldn't mind Leota either. But I think Tarpane right now is probably the smoky for me.
I know this shouldn't matter. Oh, it should a little bit, but I know it's not this black and white. But if Samoa do win on Sunday, I would like a Samoan to win it.
Yeah, for sure. But you would have had, surely, them play two good games out of the... Oh, it's hard to say, actually, because when you think about it,
Well, both teams are 2 out of 3, I guess.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. You'd probably go... But I'm trying to look at that, and I'm like, who has really stood out for Samoa in every game?
Yeah, it's hard with the first loss, because
Payne Haas.
Oh, Haas, yeah.
Payne Haas was solid last week, incredible first week, so Payne Haas is another one. So Payne Haas is probably the one that stands out the most in regards to consistency, incredible, solid, Junior Bowlaw, poor, incredible, Nanai, below, just okay.
Didn't even notice him the first game, really.
Honestly, second game, incredible. So, it's probably Payne Haas that stands out. But really, right now, if I had to give the award out right now, it would be probably between Brown, Tarpane, and McLean, and I would probably go Brown just over Tarpane.
Yeah. At the moment, a Kiwi's definitely won, because they're 2 from 2. They were incredible last week, and they were very good in week 1.
The reason why I want Tarpane to win one, though, is I just want him to get some respect on his name. I know he already has it. People are beginning to see it for sure in the last year or so. But I still don't think people really gather how freaking good this guy is. He has beaten and dominated nearly any forward pack he's played against. Now, yes, there have been times where the other forward pack has won the battle or whatever. But what I'm saying is some players play really well against other teams that are okay or all good. Tarpane is the kind of guy that can play against a Payne Haas and hold his own and go well, kind of thing. Whereas I don't think that there's a wider casual audience that wouldn't have Tapine in the top tier of front rowers. Now, granted, I think that audience is absolutely growing, and I think this year nearly everyone has Tapine is in the front row, top tier.
Yeah.
But I don't think people realise that how long he's been doing it like this for. It's not just 1 year. He's essentially, since that whole drama happened a few years ago about him sitting on the bench or whatever, he's essentially been one of the best forwards in the competition.
That seems like a lifetime ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for me, he is in tier 1, and he's like probably at the top end of tier 1. Obviously, Tane Haas is number 1, but
like right now,
if you told me, if you said to me Tapine is the second best propper in the game,
I'd
I can't push back
for sure. I'd definitely cop it because like right now, individually you've got Payne Haas at 1, clear 1, I think, and then you've got like obviously AFB, Tapine, Tino, Fish, Liotta, and Tyrell May's obviously getting there now as well.
There.
Yeah, but so interesting. I think they got most of it right in regards to. I mean, Timok was another like guy that's been flying. He was really good both games as well. Okay, on to the next one. Broncos will play Hull KO in the World Cup Challenge. Cool, good. Glad it's going ahead. And now let's get into some Pac Champs chat. This is brought to you by KO. Mouthwatering clash between New Zealand and Samoa this week. Watch Pacific Champs final live on KO. Can the Aussies go 3-0 up in the Ashes and watch every game live on KO?
This Pac Champs game,
I'm that pumped.
It is. It could be. I reckon it's the most hyped international footy game since the World Cup 3 years ago final.
Yeah,
because like even when Kiwis beat us 30-0, like no one really expected that. That just kind of just happened out of nowhere. But like, this is hyped. Like, I have no idea who's going to win this game.
Yeah, true. Good point. Okay, Pac Champs game, grand final, Samoa versus New Zealand. I mean, it's going to be a banger of a match. I just wonder the speed of the ruck from the Kiwis. I just wonder whether it's going to be a bit too much for Samoa. Now, granted, Samoa did similar things to Tonga the week before, but I just saw it when you watch that game from New Zealand, like they were playing like a top tier NRL side. That's the way they played. Like genuinely, like they'd played together for a very long time, and they could go toe to toe with some of our top tier sides. I know that sounds silly to say that because they're an international side, but you'll find because NRL players play together a lot, their systems are much better than international footy. And so like I watched that game and it reminded me of the speed of the grand final, of these prelim games. Like, I think it was 3.12 second average play the ball. Now, remember, guys, the average for the Australians in game 1 was 4.12 seconds, I'm pretty sure. That was a second. Like, the average was a second slower. That's how fast the Kiwis were.
That's insane.
Like, and so I just wonder, once they get that rolling, I just think right now, if I have to be fair to income, I just think this New Zealand forward pack is too good.
It's the best forward pack in the world.
Like I just think it's too good. And I know that people go, hang on a sec, we've got Molo, we've got Payne, we've got Sua, we got Sasangi, we've got Junior. So, okay, let's go. Okay, so we've got Francis Molo, Tavanga, Payne Haas, Sua, Sasangi, Junior Paulo versus Fish, Phoenix, Liotta, Nikora, Papali'i, and Tapine. But then you look at the bench and you go,
Kiwi bench, bro.
So Kiwi bench is Tamatia Martin, White, Clark, Willison versus Harris, Tavita. So Martin and Tavita, I'd just go, yep, like for like.
Yep.
Benaya Uelu, good number 9, which, you could argue.
He could start.
Surely he's starting, Jesus Christ. So really it'll be Jazz Tavanga. So Jazz Tavanga and Aaron Clark. I think form-wise, Aaron Clark, quite a lot better at the moment, but similar-ish players. Then you've got White versus Terrell May, which is a crazy matchup. And then Willison versus Josh Papali'i, which is like, it's funny. It's like two ends of the spectrum. Guy in the back end of his career and obviously a guy in the start of his career. I will say Josh Papali'i's son is some of the cutest, funniest content I've ever seen.
The video of when he was like, I went to the game to watch my dad.
It's got like inspiring music in that.
yeah. It's just him on the exercise bike.
I tell you what, his mum is funny as shit. 'Cause she's the one that edits.
Clearly, yeah.
So super talented at what she's doing. So that's the one thing. I'm looking at his stuff and some of like the meme inputs and that, and like as a content creator, sometimes you look at it and you go, okay, is this someone that gets humor on the internet? Like she gets it. She's good, really, really good, really good. Look, on paper, both teams could go with each other, but it's not necessarily the paper. I just think this Kiwis forward pack just get each other better.
Yeah, they're in sync, aren't they?
They're so in sync, bro. Like the Leota Fish 1-2 punch, arguably the greatest punch we've ever seen in the rugby league.
When I think of Kiwis, and I know this is obvious that winning teams are in sync, but specifically Kiwis, when I look back in history, and I look back at like 4 packs and teams that are just in sync, like the Kiwis from 2008 World Cup when they beat Australia, like they were just in sync. The one against the World Cup, more recently, the 30-0, like all in sync, This team reminds me of all of them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I look at it and I go, okay, so Payne Haas, like essentially the GOAT front rower in my opinion. However, when the game speed ticks up, he'll be gassed because he'll have to cover a lot of that defence. And then you've got Francis Malu, who, good, solid first grader, but he's not on the top tier. Tavanga, good, solid defender. Sua, at his best, is a bloody good. Sasangi, but again, Junior Paulo, outstanding, but it's really it's just the clicking nature. Like Papali'i, Dalian win the back rower. Nikora, Dalian, has he won the Dalian back row one year?
You know what? I don't think he has, but he bloody well should have.
Yeah, I mean, he's been very close. Tarpanet, Dalian. Leota yet to win a Dalian, I'm pretty sure. Fish, Dalian? Surely Fish has won one Dalian.
I'll have a look. I don't think Nikora won one. I'll check Fish. But yeah.
And so I just think they're too in sync. I really do. I just, this Kiwi side is so in sync. Now, granted, when you look at the backs.
Fish has won 2 props of the year.
2 props of the year, okay. So when you look at the backs, RTS versus Kinney, man, I've got to say, like, in nearly any matchup, I'd be giving RTS the edge. I'm giving Kinney the edge here.
Well, he's in form. Just he showed last week what he can do.
Like RTS essentially ran for 300 metres a week before, which is crazy. So it's not like by a lot, but I'm giving Kinney the edge here. And RTS, one of the GOATs. To'o versus Sako, going To'o. Timoko versus Tango. Obviously, Timoko better form, but Tango was so underrated is the wrong word, but he's just so solid. Like he just goes. I know defensively he has these goes through the season where defensively he has these lapses. I think he's in final footy and kills it. But far out, he's just consistent and it gives you a good level of, especially in attack. Dean Mariner versus Chance, I'm going Dean. However, I thought Chance was good last week. And Taulagi versus Casey McLean. Oh, fuck.
Like, actually don't know who I'm giving that to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Taulagi just because he's been there and done it for longer. And I think he is a bit slept on because he's up at North Queensland.
Bloody oath he's slept on.
But Casey McLean, not by much. You're talking top tier.
Well, he's the next big thing.
In 6, Blaze Talangi, Aluai, and then obviously Dylan Brown, Foran. Bro, I don't know. I just think...
I'm going Kiwis.
I'm going Kiwis. I just think that they're just too in sync. I really do. Not by much, not at all. I think it's going to be a crazy clash. I just think their ruck speed's going to be too much for Samoan squad. And honestly, if I'm being fair dinkum, right now, they're probably the best team in the world.
Kiwis?
Yeah. When you look at how Australia's played.
They are, and it's crazy. They didn't even make the final last year of the Pacific Championships. How far they've come in a year.
And you've got to send Foz out in a win, surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, I think the Kiwis are going to win this one.
Imagine this Kiwi side with Hughes at 7. I mean, we saw it as bloody beat us 30.
Well, yes, definitely. But then imagine this Samoan side with Critter in it and Taylor May in it and potentially Tino in it. Although, you know what? The more I see Tino talk, the more I think he might stay with the Aussies.
The Aussies. Yeah, hope so. So, yeah, listen, I think speed of the ruck is going to be super, super vital. Whoever can win that wrestle, if somehow Samoa can slow them down, I think it's going to go a long, long way to helping them win. But really, when you look at these matchups, probably on paper, the Kiwis forward pack is just a teeny bit better. In the back line, I just think you're pretty much even, pretty much. Bench, probably the Kiwi bench, probably.
Just.
But you can't count out a guy like Josh Papali'i. Terrell May probably should have won Dalian for another year as well. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm going New Zealand. In regards to Australia versus England, I'm going Australia. We've already spoken on Wednesday about the decision to not select other players. I still stand firm. I respect the idea of having to earn the jersey and all that kind of stuff. I get it. I really do. You don't just hand those jersey outs. But at the same time, listen, if you get selected in a 25-man squad and you go halfway across the world, like
Yeah. It's not like this team's playing that good either.
yeah, like I just like there are blokes that could be dropped on form if you, and that's what I guess you could argue like if no one did anyone get dropped?
No.
So it's like
I think Yo came back in, so someone dropped out, but
so it's like okay, so on one hand you could argue, yep, you can't hand the jersey out, but then it's like, well, there are guys here that have not played to the way they should have, and probably if we're being that ruthless, then they probably should have been dropped.
Yeah,
in my opinion. And but that's not even the argument I care about. The argument for me is like we're trying to build for the future.
Yeah.
What if, like if you're willing to fly all the way over half the world, be in a squad of 20, what is it, 22 or 23?
It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be 23, but then they added Ethan Strange.
We'll just say 24. Look, listen, I get like guys like Ethan Strange in that. Like you don't just hand him a jersey.
Yeah, you're not
like,
giving him a jersey.
He's a young fella coming through and he was brought on for experience. But guys like Mitchell Moses potentially. Preston, definitely Bradman Best. Like I think they've kind of earned it.
Yeah. And maybe Brayley as well, one game.
Yeah, one game. Like, okay, what if Harry Grant's injured next World Cup?
Yeah, then Brayley has to literally debut. He might not even have played. He might not play Origin. Like Robson's probably got the spot next year at this point, so who knows? So
I think it's more like I understand having to pick like, okay, it's the Kangaroos jersey, you don't just hang it out. And I do understand that, I really do. But then if that's the case, I feel like some guys should have got dropped.
Yeah, because they haven't played that good.
Like I really do. Like if it's that ruthless, but as I said, I don't care about that argument. I think personally, we're trying to build something here. We're trying to build a core of guys that can be in the squad for the next 4 or 5 years together, get experience. And if I'm being like, if we're worried about the 3-0 victory, like respectfully, we could put every single reserve in right now and we would still win, in my opinion.
No matter what team we'd roll out, we win. I've got a left field one for you. Considering Isaiah Yo's the captain, right? And you don't want to like drop him off from captaincy, but like realistically, when Cam Murray comes back, he's going to be 13. So Isaiah Yo probably will start at prop, but whatever. His spot in the 17 is not questioned, but he's where it is. If you're Kevy to keep Tino happy, well, to keep you happy, but like, could you give Tino the captaincy? And then that'll stop him from going to Samoa. Like he said that he wants to captain Queensland.
No. There's no way. If you're a captain of Australia, you should not even be considering playing for another country, in my opinion.
Okay.
Maybe that's wrong of me to say, but that's just how I feel.
Fair enough.
If you want to captain this nation, there should not even be a question. And I understand everyone's different. I understand everyone's had different upbringings, and I'll never understand what it's like to have a mum from here and a dad from there or whatever. But I just think if you're going to captain the nation, it should just be like, this is the only country I'm ever going to play for. I love it. Like, you might not love it more than the guy that would play for someone else. I'm not sure. But what I do know is there can never be a question as to whether you were going to choose another nation over our nation.
Yeah, it's a fair call.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're captaining it. It's one thing to play for it, but to captain the country, put it this way, I don't mind if eventually, like, let's say Tino didn't make the Australian side and he wants to play for Samoa. Like, sweet, whatever. That's totally okay. But if all nations are available to you and you can get selected for everyone, if you want to be captain of the country, you should always select Australia, in my opinion, if you have the opportunity to play for them, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Maybe I'm the old man yelling at clouds and the next generation see things differently, which is, I respect that, but at least that's my opinion. I
respect that. I do think Tino's a very unique case, though. Like, he loves playing for Australia.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doubting his love for it or his commitment at all. Like, I think he would play just as hard if it was his number one side. It's just the thought that, like, if you're going to captain the nation, the thought of you sitting there going, ooh, could I play for another country over this country? It just doesn't sit right. I don't know. Call me old school.
That's a fair argument.
And that doesn't mean that you're going to play less hard if you have options to play elsewhere. Not at all. But it's just the captaincy of the nation. Like, it can never be in your heart to want to play for someone else if you have the opportunity to play for Australia, in my opinion. And we have just so many guys here. Like, we have got so many guys we could put there that,
there's half the team are full of captains.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone is above the importance of the Australian jersey where we have to placate them to be there. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. That's fine. I don't dislike you for whatever. If you want to play for someone else, I fully respect it and I'll enjoy it and I'll watch it. But I hope there's never an Australian coach or selector that's like, oh, we want to keep this guy in the squad. We'll give him this or we'll give him that. It's like, no. The honour is the jersey. The honour is the jersey. And if you want to play another jersey, that's fine. It's totally sweet. However, we aren't going to compromise to placate you. And we're talking about not talking about Tino at the moment. We're talking about just in general.
Yeah.
As I said, maybe I'm an old man now, but I do think that sometimes I feel like the younger generation may not actually realize what has been sacrificed for those colours.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do. And you know, when I was younger, maybe I didn't either. And as you get older and you start to hear the stories about what was sacrificed for those colours, and you're like, come on, Kevin, it's a game of sport. No, but to represent your country, you're representing the history of it, the colours, the Australian flag. Like, you know, people have sacrificed their lives for that flag. Like that flag represents an ideal, a belief that you believe in this thing called Australia. You believe that it's worth putting your life on the line for, protecting your family, your loved ones. You're making, there are thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people that have put their life on the line for the belief in this is worth fighting for. And that's what the Australian jersey is, because you're representing them. That guy that was sitting in the trenches in World War II or whatever, he was like writing home saying, how the boys going footy? You know, they're representing me while I'm over here, obviously putting my life on the line. I'm not saying they're equal at all, they're not even close. But like, that's who they're representing. But they're also representing the single mum. They're also representing, you know, the young kid with a dream. Anyone in Australia that's Australian, kind of thing, in my opinion. Sometimes I feel people are like, oh, come on, mate, just a jersey. Like, you know, that's not just a jersey. It's not just colours. You know, think like that, then nothing means anything.
Yeah, you can't think like you can't. That's
like it means something, bro. It means something. And maybe it's like a cultural thing. Like, this next generation is much more nonchalant's not the right word, but like disillusioned potentially. Like disillusioned with this idea of Australia and, you know, the Australian dream, and potentially, which I can get. You know, I get it. With how much we've found out about the people that run this joint, I understand that disillusionment, but it's not about the people that run the joint. It's the people that are sacrificed. It's your mate that was just like you, but 100 years ago, that went away, lied about his age to go to war, or, you know, whoever it is. So anyway, who cares what I think about that stuff? Seriously. That is us done and dusted, I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I saw a comment the other day on it. I think it's like, Den, you've got to change the last question of favourite rapper to favourite musician. And I was like, listen, bro, there's some things that you never change.
Yeah.
And even if it's the shittest question in history, I will not betray the listener like that. Tradition matters.
Yeah.
Tradition matters.
Yeah.
Do you know why I asked that question? Do you want to know?
Yeah, I do want to know.
It's to wrap the interview up.
Oh, yeah.
So by asking that question, you say, all right, mate, so, you know, to end the episode, I always ask these questions. Whereas if you don't do that, how do you end the...
So you don't even have to think about it.
Well, it puts a full stop rather than, all right, mate. Because you've been sitting there talking to a bloke for an hour and 20 minutes. And it's just flowing. And he says he's talking about his career or whatever. And then the last answer to his last, you know, not question, but the last response to his last statement is, okay, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate it. It's a fucking really weird wrap up.
I've never thought of that, but that actually makes a lot of sense.
It wraps the show, it like wraps it up, puts a full stop on it, makes them feel comfortable. Like, okay, oh, yep, sweet. Like, bit of a laugh, ends the show on a much better flow.
Nice. Love it.
Anyway, we'll go fuck ourselves. Who cares?
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.